welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking at a Supreme Court judgment, Jagdeo Prasad v. the State of Bihar. And we've gone through the files to understand how a really brutal contract killing exposed a huge loophole in bail law.
It's a case that really pushes the limit on that balance between, personal liberty and actual justice for victims.
And it all starts with a scene that, it's straight out of a crime show. Picture this. December 16th, 2023, Pandarak, Bihar.
Middle of the day.
In broad daylight. A government health worker, Kumari Pushpa, is just walking down the road. Two men on bike, helmets on, pull up, they shoot her dead. And then they just speed off.
And when the police started digging, they realized this was anything but random. It was a cold-blooded, planned-out hit. A contract killing.
The backstory is just, it's unbelievable. We're talking about lenders charging an extortionate interest rate, something like 35% a month.
It's staggering. And the police found the hitman was paid around 2.5 lakh rupees to carry out the murder.
So you have a body, you have a confession from the shooter, and a clear money trail. It all points directly to the lenders as the masterminds.
Seems like a pretty open and shut case for an arrest, right?
You would think. But then the Patna High Court steps in and does something that just seems incredible. They granted the masterminds anticipatory bail.
And that just changed everything.
Okay, before we get into the sheer shock of that, let's break that down. Anticipatory bail isn't regular bail, is it? It's basically pre-arrest immunity.
Exactly. Regular bail is something you apply for after you've been arrested, after you've been in custody. Anticipatory bail is a legal shield. It literally prevents the police from arresting you.
How on earth does that happen when we're talking about a Section 302 charge? Murder. How do murder suspects get a get-out-of-jail-free card before they even see a pair of handcuffs?
Well, the Supreme Court was asking that exact same question. They had to step in, and in their ruling, they basically laid out 3 huge lessons for the lower courts.
So, lesson 1. I was looking at the High Court's reasoning, and they were really focused on the accused being women with clean antecedents.
Basically, they had no prior criminal record.
Yeah.
And the Supreme Court's first big correction was this idea of gravity versus liberty.
Yeah.
Meaning that individual liberty, your freedom, it can't just override the seriousness, the gravity of the crime, especially in cases of organized crime with hired killers. Having a clean record doesn't get you a pass.
Right. You can't just say, well, I've never hired a hitman before, so please let me go.
Yeah.
So what was the second lesson? Something about jumping the queue.
Yeah, this was a procedural issue. The accused went straight to the High Court for bail. They completely bypassed the lower sessions court.
And why is that a problem?
The Supreme Court compared it to, well, think of it like a video game. You're supposed to clear the lower levels first. If you go straight to the final boss, the High Court, and lose.
You've got nowhere else to go. You've used up your extra lives, your chance to appeal.
Precisely. The system is designed that way for a reason. But it's the third lesson where the defense got really clever. Or they tried to. The parity principle.
I saw that. They argued that because an accomplice got bail, they should too. What's good for one is good for all.
Yes, but the distinction here is absolutely critical. The accomplice got regular bail.
Which is under a completely different law.
Completely different. Regular bail is under Section 439 of the Code. That's for getting out of jail.
And what they were asking for, anticipatory bail, is Section 438. That's to avoid going to jail in the first place.
The Supreme Court drew a very hard line. They said you cannot claim parity. You can't say you're equal when your legal situations are in different universes. One person is asking to leave custody, the other is asking to never enter it.
Apples and oranges.
Total apples and oranges. So the final verdict was a complete reversal.
So what happened in the end?
The Supreme Court set aside the High Court's order. They canceled the bail bonds and ordered the accused to surrender within 4 weeks.
A total shutdown. So what are the big takeaways here for people listening?
For the public, I think it's a powerful reminder that justice isn't a one-way street. Victims, like Kumari Pushpa's family in this case, have the right to challenge bail orders that seem unfair. You can fight back.
And for the legal professionals listening?
The message is clear. The Supreme Court is really tightening the screws on this kind of blanket protection for very serious, heinous crimes. Relying on a clean record or a technicality to avoid arrest in a contract killing case, that's just not going to fly anymore.
It really makes you think, doesn't it, about the balance of power. We all want to protect personal liberty, of course. But are we at a point where the system sometimes values a technical loophole more than the raw, undeniable reality of a victim's loss? Something to think about.
Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive.